So with the wonderful instruction that we've just gotten the last two chapters, we're now all very comfortable with what color is and how to break down a color wheel. So let's take what we've learned and start to implement it. Now we want to touch on color schemes. And this is giving a piece of art an overall color unity. And there's many different color schemes. The next 7 I am going to show you are the ones I use predominantly and I think are probably the most used color schemes in art. So what I'm going to do is give you the overall of the different 7, and then I'm going to break them down one by one with you. So the first color scheme we have is complementary, and that's the easiest one. There are any two colors that are found opposite of each other on the color wheel. That's pretty straightforward. Next set is analogous colors. Now, analogous colors are any set of 3 colors that are found beside each other or adjacent to each other on the color wheel. The third set is called split complementary. This one gets a little tricky. Now, this is where you take a complementary color scheme, but instead of using the 2 colors that are opposite of each other, you take the 1 color and then the 2 colors adjacent to its complementary. Our next color scheme is a square color scheme, and it is 4 colors around the color wheel, evenly spaced. Our 5th is a triadic, which is 3 colors that are evenly spaced anywhere around the color wheel. And our 6th, which I always have a fun time trying to pronounce, is a tetratic, which is 4 colors arranged into 2 complementary pairs. And our last color scheme is a monochromatic color scheme, and this is using a single color with varying tints and tones to create the color scheme. So now that we know what these color schemes are, you're probably asking, well, how do I implement them in my art? So let's take a look at that. Let's show you examples in both photography and how I've used them in actual pieces of my art. First is complementary, of course, which is the two colors found across from each other on the color wheel. And you can see the bear here is a beautiful orange with a blue background, creating a nice complementary harmonized color scheme. Now my artwork, here's a breaking cover. This cougar is a beautiful shade of an orange with a, again, blue background. And one thing to note is that complementary colors are fantastic to use when you want to emphasize one object in your artwork over another. The next color scheme is analogous, and analogous are colors found beside each other on the color wheel. And as you can see, this fern cover is a combination of yellow, yellow-green, and green. Now, if we turn over to our artistic example, I used Botswana King, and you can see again this is definitely an analogous color, and we've used the 3 colors of red orange, orange, and yellow orange. Now the thing to remember about analogous colors are 1 color should be predominant, there should be a 2nd color that's a supporting color, and the 3rd color should only be used in accents. So you can see here I've used the orange red as the predominant color, and then I've used the oranges as a secondary color, and of course then the yellow oranges in the highlights, and they're the accenting color. Here's split complementary, and remember that's a complementary with a little bit of a twist. It's instead of the opposites across from each other, it's 1 color and then the 2 adjacent colors to its complementary color. Here you can see that this color scheme consists of orange yellows, green yellows, and then violets, which creates a split complementary color scheme. In our artistic example, the color scheme has changed a bit, but it's still split complementary. We have our orange yellows that are a predominant color, and then our adjacent complementaries are the blue and violet. The nice thing about split complementary is that it creates as much contrast as complementary, but it creates a little less tension than straight complementaries do. And it's said to be the easiest color scheme for beginners to grasp and to use effectively. Now in a triadic color scheme, use 3 colors anywhere on the color wheel, evenly spaced. So on this one you can